Yay Camp is our Young Actors Yearly Summer Camp, and it's open to kindergarten through 8th grade, and it is for any kid who has any interest or maybe an interest in anything and all things theater. Our theme was picked by our students who are counselors for the camp, and it's New York, New York.
I like a lot of the people that do theater. Like, you get to meet a lot of new people, and then you like get close with them during the shows and the performances, and then it's almost kind of like one big family. Like, the cast is like, they're all good friends, and it's fun to do.
I've done acting, makeup, singing and dancing, and other cool things.
They're doing Newsies, 42nd Street, Thoroughly Modern Millie, Annie, then I think there's one more too, but they're all shows that have some connection into the whole idea of New York, New York.
I think our dance for our song we're doing this week is a lot of fun.
We get some students who truly start off in those lower grades, like kindergarten, first, second, and then go all the way through, and then they're junior counselors, and then they end up being students here at Indy in our theater program. And then they're counselors, which is really awesome. I think we do it every year. My students love it. They love being counselors year after year. It's something that they look forward to. And I think as I've just kind of done this more and more and just seeing the impact on students, like on the campers themselves, there's nothing like having a kid who comes in a little timid on day one, and by the end of it is like almost like the mayor of our little theater world, and is saying goodbye to all of their friends, and that kind of impact, like, it's probably why I do theater itself.
I love Yay Camp!
We are so very excited that we got to finally reveal our new mascot.
I think it's lightning. The wildcat leopard, because I feel like Longview Wildcats would be weird. I feel like it should start with an L.
We are no longer the Longview Lizards, but we are the Longview Lions. We went through the process of getting input from our parents and community, and then we narrowed that down and did another vote, and it was a landslide win for the Lions. We have so many parents here tonight to share in the excitement. It's just a really great night here at Longview.
Well, it's always special when we get to welcome back our fabulous teachers to Walnut Grove. Today we've really been working on the concept of a PLC, and we've been connecting that to flying.
It was amazing. We were in the cafeteria talking about the similarities between pilots and teachers, which, you know, seems like a far reach to make, but it's really not. You know, you've got your flight plans and your lesson plans, and then Dr. Donnelly had us go out onto the playground where all 6 of my children who have attended this school, they've played all this, you know, I've been here a long time as a parent and now as a teacher, and a helicopter landed on the playground. It was so exciting, and we were, you know, all, who's going to come out of the helicopter? It was very exciting.
It was exciting, and then to wonder who it was going to come out of the helicopter. Obviously, all bets were on Jason Golden because he does things like that. But lo and behold, it was Officer Chapman, or Deputy Chapman, and he did a great job in kind of comparing what a pilot does with all his years of experience as a pilot to what a teacher does in the classroom every day. I'm looking forward to this school year being a blank slate and starting again, taking what I've learned over the years and turning and tweaking those things, and to help my students just grow and to be very successful.
I'm excited about teaching a new subject with a new curriculum and the same wonderful people here at Walnut Grove and the amazing group of children that we have coming in. It's just a wonderfully happy place to be.
Everybody has their own gifts that they bring and share with these wonderful children every day. We have such a great community who also share their gifts with us. It's truly one of the most special places to be.
As someone who oversees safety and security in Williamson County Schools, I want to make sure you're aware of some of the safety measures we have in place and ask for your help to keep our schools secure. It's time to have the talk about student safety. A new state law requires all exterior doors leading into a school building be locked at all times. It also states that access to the school building is limited to the school's primary entrance during the school day, as well as when students are present outside of regular school hours. So, when you come to visit the school, We expect you to show a photo ID and wait until an employee allows you entrance into the building. Do not allow anyone else to enter with you. They must go through the same process. And once you're inside, you must sign in. In Williamson County, we use an all-hazards approach to protect our schools, and we practice for various events. We need for you to talk to your child about understanding the importance of taking all the drills seriously, whether it's for evacuating during a fire, sheltering in place during a storm, or locking down if someone attempts to cause violence. Not what you want to hear? I get that, but it could happen to your child. Parents, it's time to have the talk. It's time to have the talk about student safety.
As someone who oversees the Williamson County Sheriff's Office School Resource Officers, I want to make sure that you know how we all can work together to keep our students, staff, and schools safe. It's time to have the talk. It's time to have the talk about student safety. We have a school resource officer, otherwise known as an SRO, in every school building, and larger schools have an additional SRO. It's important for you and your child to know your SRO's name and that they are a resource. Even more important, we want to make sure the students are taking an active role in their own safety. We can't do this alone. Our students play a vital role in keeping our schools safe. Let your child know it's okay to close outside doors to their school building. It's okay not to open side door for anyone trying to enter the building. It's okay to share information that is concerning with their SRO. You know, if you see something, say something. Here in Williamson County, we've learned of threats against schools or students on social media because students and parents have reported it. We have stopped acts of self-harm because a friend was worried and shared that with an SRO. And we have succeeded in ending sextortion plots against a young person because their peer was scared and told us about it. These are just some of the situations we've dealt with right here at home. Not what you want to hear? I get that. But it could happen to your child. Parents, it's time to have the talk. It's time to have the talk about student safety.
As someone who conducts random searches at middle and high schools across Williamson County, I, along with my partner Gidget, want to make sure you know the risk to your child's future if illegal drugs are found in their lockers, backpacks, vehicles, or anywhere in their possession at school. It's time to have the talk. It's time to have the talk about student safety. It doesn't matter if it's cocaine, meth, THC, or fentanyl. It doesn't matter if it's a prescription medication if the prescription is not your child's. It doesn't matter who owns the drugs if your child is in possession. When Gidget indicates, law enforcement has the right to conduct a search. Illegal drug possession on a school campus, on school buses, or any school-sponsored activity is a zero-tolerance offense, and Tennessee state law mandates that any student in unlawful possession, handling, transmitting, using, under the influence, sharing, or selling illegal drugs will be sent to the Alternative Learning Center for 180 days. And then there's juvenile court, where your child could potentially face felony charges. There won't be any more extracurricular activities at school, and it could also affect opportunities for future employment or admission to college. Not to mention, illegal drugs could harm your child's physical and mental health, maybe even leading to overdose or death. Not what you want to hear? I get that, but it could happen to your child. Parents, it's time to have the talk. It's time to have a talk about student safety.
As someone who investigates sexting, I want to make sure you know the risk to your child's future if they send sexually explicit messages and images through texts, apps, emails, or computer games. It's time to have the talk about student safety. Oftentimes, these types of images are sent through apps like Snapchat, WhatsApp, or within online gaming communities such as Xbox or PlayStation. Your child thinks that the image will self-destruct after a certain amount of time, but that's just wrong. Once that picture is sent or shared, control of the image belongs to someone else, and they can use it however they choose. Children who engage in sexting expose themselves to risks such as harassment, sextortion, and in some extreme cases, legal repercussions. Consequences of this behavior could affect your child's school experience, their social and emotional well-being, or their future endeavors. Not what you want to hear? I get that. But it could happen to your child. Parents, it's time to have the talk. to talk with your child about student safety and the dangers of sexting. As someone who investigates sextortion, I want to make sure you know the risk to your child's future if they get involved with sending sexually explicit images and then are asked for money or sexual favors from someone threatening to reveal evidence of their sexual activity. It's time to have that talk, the talk about student safety. A child sends a sexually explicit message for a number of reasons: to foster a sense of intimacy or sometimes to be funny. Some might send to a romantic partner because of a threat of a breakup or a threat of violence. As guardians, we must teach our children to not ask for such content, and if asked, refuse to provide the images. A child needs to know that if they are being extorted, they need guidance and support from a trusted adult. A child may try to send money to the blackmailer, or engage in sexual favors, or even worse, commit acts of self-harm, including suicide. Not what you want to hear? I get that, but it could happen to your child. Parents, it's time to have the talk. It's time to have the talk about student safety.
As someone who investigates student and school threats, I want to make sure you know the risks to your child's future if they make a threat. It's time to have the talk about student safety. There's a new law in Tennessee, and any student who makes a threat of mass violence, that's a threat to 2 or more people, will be sent to the Alternative Learning Center for 180 days. That's an entire school year. It doesn't matter if it's on a bathroom wall, on a piece of paper, or on social media. It doesn't matter if it was done with intent or as a joke. Making any kind of threat will not only get your child punished at school, but in juvenile court, potentially facing felony charges. That could affect their current and future education and employment opportunities.
Not what you want to hear? I get that. But it could happen to your child. Parents, it's time to have the talk. It's time to have the talk about student safety.